series on, surviving the holidays, the craziness of the holidays, which has already started. Canadian Thanksgiving is over. We've got Halloween coming up. We've got American Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and all the parties and gatherings and, gifts giving and everything in between and all the traditions. And so today, what I really wanted to talk about was a tradition. And will breaking tradition break the holidays? Now, I think we all have, memories. Of course, traditions are what make the holidays so memorable. And we all have memories from when we were kids of things that we did. Like I remember, staying up late on Christmas Eve, and we got to open one gift, and just all the, we'd always have dinner with my family, and then the next day we'd have, we'd go to see all the relatives, and then, it was a certain sequence, and it was just so much fun. And, but, I got to a point where it was just crazy. Once you start having significant others, and you've got two extended families, and, grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles and all these people, you have to start making some difficult choices. And so I just want to talk about, what will happen if we break tradition? Will we break the holiday? So let's get into it. So today we're going to answer 3 questions. Number 1, why are traditions so important? What are the benefits of traditions? Do they even matter? Should we keep them? Number 2, should they always be kept? And number 3, what should we keep in mind if we're starting to sort of change our traditions or adapt to new ones? What is really important for us to keep in mind? But first, before we go there, my name is Nancy Brooker. I am the Living in Yes coach for women who feel overwhelmed by life's demands and secretly feel like they're just not good enough and are really ready to just transform that inner critic and start embracing life. So they hire me to teach them how to connect to their inner worth, to trust themselves, so that they can rock their relationships, stress less, and live in yes. So let's get back to today's topic. Number 1, why do traditions matter? Well, like we said, traditions come in all kinds of shapes and forms, and they're not just around the holidays, but they could be something like a Sunday dinner, movie nights, card playing with the kids. Around Christmas, it could be, cutting down the holiday cutting of the tree. In our house, with Halloween coming up, we've been doing, I think this is our 20th year now of doing an annual spooky dinner. So they're in all shapes and forms. And they're really, really important because they help ground us back into ourselves. And they let us just be ourselves, breathe, laugh, have fun. We know what we're expecting. And they give us comfort and a sense of belonging because it's the familiar, right? And we can remember the goodness of the familiar. And hopefully that is the case. That's not the case for all traditions, because I know that that's not always the case in all families. But that's the whole point of a good tradition. And they will reinforce important aspects, important values like respect and friendship and happiness and connection to each other and to something bigger than ourselves, right? And if you're interested in more information on why traditions matter, I have a little link for you to a blog I did down below. But traditions, I think there's really no doubt that they can be very important. But should they always be kept? Number 2, life changes. I gave the example earlier as we had all these traditions of going to see all these people when I was a kid, and I loved it, and I wish I could continue it, but we had to morph those traditions. They're just, families get bigger, and things happen. We have kids, we move, we have time constraints, all kinds of things. And so it's really important that we be flexible and resilient so that we can, around the traditions, so that we can reduce our stress and just enjoy the joy of the holiday season and of the traditions. So if your question was, should we even have traditions? I would say the answer is a resounding yes. Of course, within the parameters of what traditions are meant to do. They're meant to ground us, to bring us joy, to give us a sense of belonging, all of those things. Because there's so many benefits to traditions. But with the question being, should they always be kept? Well, of course, like we said, it depends, right? That's a hard maybe. It depends on how well they still fit. There's marriages, divorces, moves, kids, the things that we're interested in change. We have time constraints as we get older, time moves on. So holding on to a tradition just for sake of holding on to it can really create a lot of stress in our lives. So we need to figure out a way to maintain them, but with joy and ease, or to morph them into something else. So we want to make sure that the tradition is fitting the mark of what it was meant to do, to help us feel connected and loved and grounded, and a sense of belonging and comfort, all of those great things. So what should we keep in mind as we are starting to adapt our traditions or change them or introduce new traditions? Well, I think the first thing is, what triggers us about traditions? If there's something that's making it uncomfortable for us, if it's, making it a stressful thing for us, what is that? And what's triggering? What is it about that that's triggering us? What are we holding on to with that tradition? And what will it mean for us to let go of that tradition? And working through some of those issues. But number two is really, figuring out what matters. So looking at the traditions that you already have and what's really important to me about those traditions. Having, I'll just use my spooky dinner like that. It just makes me feel really connected to the kids and their friends because they all come for a spooky dinner. And now that my kids are older, that's really important to me, and I love to maintain that. And they love it too. So it's just a win all around. So what can you live without? Maybe there are things that, maybe that annual cutting of the tree is something that you just don't have time for anymore, and that's okay. You can just go get a tree and the special time is decorating it together or something like that. What can't you live without? Really important to think about. What's really important to you? And how do you want to feel? What's the purpose of the tradition? And what makes sense for your stage in life? So I'll give an example of a tradition that changed for us. We used to do Christmas Eve every year with my husband's family at our house. And it was fantastic. We always had so much fun. And all the kids, and then as we got older and started to have kids, all the kids would come. But we don't have a very big house. And, the family was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and everything was getting more and more and more, right? More expensive, more food, less and less space. So not everything was getting more. Some of it was getting less. And it just wasn't, and then as the kids were getting older, there were jobs for the kids and travel time, and it just wasn't making sense anymore. So what we started to do, and my mother-in-law was not well, so we needed to switch the location so that we could be closer to where she was, so that she didn't have to travel. And so what we decided to do was just, the most important thing for us is just we all wanted to be together. So we just changed it. We said, okay, we're not going to do that big turkey dinner anymore. It's a lot of work and there's a lot of people. We're just all going to bring appies and just enjoy each other's company. And, over the years it morphed from everybody buying everybody a gift, which was crazy, to, picking names, to eventually doing one of those scramble games, which we have so much fun with now. So, things happen, and we just have to be flexible and to reduce that stress and maintain the joy of the holiday season. And then I guess the other thing is, not just what's important to us, it's what's important to the people around us. If that cutting down of the tree every Christmas is so important, and your kids talk about it all year long, and now they're older and they're bringing their kids and it's such an amazing tradition, well, that's not going to be one probably that you want to get rid of. You're going to be looking at something else that you're going to morph or change, or maybe somehow morph or change that one. Just remember, it's a conversation, not a dictatorship. And you will not break Christmas. You will make it better, and everyone will enjoy it more. Remember, as the Rolling Stones said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. So you can enjoy those holidays and make them the best for you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to download your free ebook down below, Surviving the Holi-Daze, helping your child with social anxieties down there too, and 7 simple ways to de-stress. Chat soon. Bye.